On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and heartache. Today, we venture into the enigmatic tale of this aircraft, a story that has puzzled the world for more than a decade. Picture this, a Boeing 777-200ER, one of the world's most reliable passenger jets, embarking on a routine journey from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. The clock strikes 12:41 in the early hours of the morning, and the aircraft lifts off the runway, its powerful engines propelling it into the night sky. On board were 239 souls. 227 of them were passengers hailing from 14 different nations, their lives intertwined by a common journey. 12 were crew members, experienced professionals tasked with ensuring a safe and comfortable flight. Among them, children with dreams, adults with aspirations, and elderly with wisdom, each carrying their own unique story. The flight was scheduled to last approximately 5 hours and 30 minutes, a journey of over 2,700 miles. The aircraft had been serviced regularly, and the weather conditions were reported as favorable. It was set to be another standard, uneventful flight. Yet, as we now know, it was anything but. Unbeknownst to those on board, their plane was about to become the center of one of the biggest aviation mysteries in history. The aircraft, its passengers, and its crew were heading towards an unknown fate, their routine flight soon to become a journey into the unknown. The aircraft was last contacted by air traffic control less than an hour after takeoff. After that, silence. The plane, along with the 239 lives it carried, simply disappeared, vanished without a trace. A sudden void in the vast expanse of the sky. With 227 passengers and 12 crew members on board, Flight 370 took off, but little did they know it would never reach its destination. As the flight progressed, communications were abruptly cut off, and the aircraft's transponder was switched off, veering the plane off its intended course. This flight was no longer a routine journey. It had taken a turn into the realm of the inexplicable. Let's paint a picture. Imagine sitting in a room filled with screens tracking thousands of flights around the world. Suddenly, one blinks out. The transponder, a vital piece of equipment that broadcasts the aircraft's location, speed, and altitude, was silenced. Alarm bells start to ring. This is not a common occurrence. Something was wrong. Now, the plane was essentially a ghost, a phantom traversing the skies. Why was the transponder switched off? Was it a technical glitch or a deliberate act? These questions still linger, unanswered, adding layers to the mystery. But the story doesn't end there. The plane didn't just vanish after the transponder was switched off. It began to deviate from its flight path. It made unexpected turns, straying farther and farther from its intended course. It's as if the plane had a mind of its own, or perhaps someone or something was directing its movements. The twists and turns of the plane were tracked by Malaysian military radar. They watched as the aircraft veered off its set course, over the Malay Peninsula, then over the Strait of Malacca. Each turn, each change in direction, deepened the enigma of Flight 370. The plane, with its hundreds of passengers and crew, was now headed towards the vast expanse of the Andaman Sea. It was here, in these uncharted waters, that the plane disappeared entirely. It was as if it had evaporated, leaving behind nothing but a trail of questions and a world in shock. Malaysian military radar tracked the plane's erratic path before disappearing entirely over the Andaman Sea. The mystery of Flight 370 had taken an unexpected turn, leading us into a labyrinth of theories and speculations, each more intriguing than the last. The subsequent search efforts spanned vast oceans and continents from the Indian Ocean to Central Asia, but the wreckage remained elusive. This statement marks the beginning of a monumental search operation that unfolded in the aftermath of the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. Picture this, an army of search vessels, aircraft, and ground personnel combing through hundreds of thousands of square miles, their eyes scanning relentlessly over the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean, the South China Sea, and beyond. The magnitude of the search was unprecedented, involving 26 nations and utilizing the most sophisticated technology available. Yet despite the extensive labor, the aircraft remained stubbornly hidden, its location a secret that the depths of the ocean refused to divulge. The search was like looking for a needle in a haystack, only the haystack was the size of a continent, and the needle was a Boeing 777. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the hope of finding the plane began to fade. The world watched in anticipation, waiting for a breakthrough that never came. The search operation was eventually suspended, leaving behind a sea of unanswered questions. Experts painstakingly analyzed satellite data, scrutinizing every blip and signal, hoping to find a clue that might lead them to the aircraft. They reconstructed the plane's possible flight path, tracing its potential journey across the skies. But despite their best efforts, the plane's final resting place remained a mystery. This was not just a search for a lost aircraft. It was a quest for answers, a desperate attempt to bring closure to the grieving families and to solve one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. The search for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 was a testament to human persistence and resilience, a reminder of our collective desire to uncover the truth, no matter how elusive it may be. It was a journey marked by hope, despair, and an unyielding determination to never give up. Despite extensive search efforts and investigations, the wreckage remained elusive. This statement marks the end of the search, but not the end of our quest for answers. The mystery of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 continues to captivate and confound us. And as long as questions remain, the search will go on. Experts analyze satellite data and acoustic signals, piecing together fragments of information to reconstruct the flight's final moments. The process was akin to navigating a labyrinth in the dark, with only whispers of echoes to guide them. Satellite data became the breadcrumbs in this enigma, the thin threads of connection between the vanished aircraft and the world it left behind. Acoustic signals echoed through the vastness of the oceans, whispering the tale of the flight's last dance. These signals, like ghostly voices from the depths, were captured by hydrophones, devices used to detect underwater sounds. They painted a sonic picture of the plane's movements, creating a symphony of information that only the most skilled could decipher. To the untrained ear, these sounds would be no more than random noise, but to these experts, they were a language, a code to be cracked. Each ping, each wave of sound, was a piece of the puzzle, a fragment of the story waiting to be told. Through meticulous analysis, these experts began to reconstruct the flight's final moments. They traced the plane's descent into the ocean, its final plunge into the unknown. Each piece of information, each fragment of data, brought them a step closer to understanding the fate of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. But the puzzle was far from complete. There were still pieces missing, gaps in the narrative that needed to be filled. It was like trying to complete a jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces lost, a story half told. Months later, the first pieces of debris began washing ashore, offering a glimmer of hope, but also raising new questions. These tangible remnants of the vanished aircraft provided the much-needed physical evidence. But they also deepened the mystery, adding another layer of complexity to the already intricate puzzle. The discovery of the debris was like finding missing pieces of a puzzle. It filled in gaps, completed parts of the picture, but it also challenged previous assumptions, forcing the experts to reconsider their theories, to reevaluate their conclusions. So, the search continued. The quest for answers persisted. The puzzle was still incomplete. The story of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 still waiting to be fully told. Theories swirled from mechanical failure to pilot suicide, each offering a different perspective on this baffling mystery. Some experts proposed that a catastrophic system failure might have incapacitated the crew, leaving the aircraft to fly on autopilot until it ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. Others suggested a fire on board that could have damaged critical systems and filled the cockpit with smoke. A more chilling theory is that of a deliberate act by someone inside the aircraft, possibly the pilot or a hijacker. This theory is fueled by the aircraft's sudden and dramatic change in course, which seems to indicate human intervention. Then there are those who believe that the plane was commandeered for some unknown purpose and possibly landed somewhere far from its intended route. These theories, while intriguing, lack hard evidence. Despite the multitude of theories, the truth behind Malaysia Airlines Flight 370's disappearance remains shrouded in uncertainty. As we remember the lives lost on that fateful day, may their memories live on, casting a light on the quest for understanding. 239 souls, each with their own stories, dreams, and hopes, vanished without a trace, leaving a world in mourning. The void they left behind echoes with the unanswered questions of their fate. May we continue to seek answers to this enduring mystery. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious.